Okay, so now I'm just moving around the house to make videos so that nothing looks exactly the same and you don't get bored. But here I am sitting next to my wonderful dancing camels, which I love my dancing camels, and now you get to enjoy them too. So we started talking about the clit is big and you want everything to get puffy. That was the first thing you need to know. The second thing you needed to know was the G-spot, your periurethral sponge that protects the urethra and is kind of the ceiling of the vagina. It kind of dips down, and that's where it's really nice to hit, and that's where you can kind of get some of your squirting going on. And that was the second thing. And then the third thing was the cave of wonders in the back, where the cervix and uterus kind of pulls up out of the way so that you can really kind of get in there and enjoy yourself. But the fourth thing that I want everyone to know about is the nervous systems. There are different nerve systems that are involved in women's sexual response. I have no idea about the men because I'm not really interested in penises these days. Not to say you shouldn't be interested. I'm just not interested. So there are 3 different nerve systems that I know of. There may be more, and please tell me if there are. I want to know. But there are 3 main nerve systems that you get to feel a lot of pleasure on. The one that, there's the exterior genital nerve, also called the pudendal nerve, but pudenda has a literal meaning of shame and some other things, so let's not call it that. Let's call it the genital nerve. And, it kind of comes through and it branches out. Think like tree roots or a watershed kind of thing. It kind of goes through and innervates all the things. And that's your clitoris stimulation. That's your vulva. That's the entrance to your vagina, where there's lots of wonderful nerve endings. There's kind of the first little ways of the vagina. Not all the way back, but kind of the first ways. That's a lot of the sponge, the periurethral sponge, is innervated by the genital nerve. It's also your anus. So kind of all those external structures that feel so good when you rub up against them. Yeah, that is the genital nerve. And there is the pelvic nerve, and the pelvic nerve is kind of deeper into the pelvis, and it connects to the uterus, it connects to the cervix, it connects to the cave of wonders in the back, which is one reason why the cave of wonders kind of adds that whole other level of sensation and pleasure, is because you're hitting a different nerve system. It's a different nerve that you're pleasuring. It kind of all combines and makes it extra wonderful. It also, so it's kind of the pelvic nerve is kind of the deeper parts of the vagina, and it's also the so you have the periurethral sponge, which is that nice tube, but it doesn't go back all the way. It kind of goes for a ways, and then there's kind of a back end to it, and where that back end is, that kind of connects more to the pelvic nerve than the genital nerve, which is why that's one of my favorite spots, because you can kind of get both sets of nerves all at once. So those are the main 2 that you can talk about. And I kind of wonder, for a while there was all that stupid talk about, clitoral orgasms are immature and vaginal orgasms are better. And I kind of wonder, and I'm not the expert here, but I kind of wonder if that goes back to which nerve system is getting stimulated and which nerve system you're feeling the most pleasure on. I say take your pleasure as you get your pleasure. I don't care what nerve it is, just light it up and make me happy. And then there's also the third nerve, which is the vagal nerve. And the vagal nerve wanders all over the body. And so it doesn't use the spinal column to connect body to brain. It actually just wanders all over, and it connects all these different organ systems, and it's kind of a whole body nerve. And it's one reason why, interesting fact, people who are paralyzed, women, I don't know about men, women who are paralyzed from a spinal cord injury can still have orgasms because they can be stimulated through the vagal nerve system, and it doesn't have to go through the spinal column in order to get to the brain. Very cool. Very, very cool. And so I couldn't tell you exactly what a vagal nerve orgasm feels like necessarily. There are sometimes those orgasms, and I think other people have them, where most orgasms, they kind of go up with tension, like tension kind of rise and rise and rise, and it kind of peaks, and then you come back down a little bit. But sometimes there are the orgasms that go down, and instead of getting tighter and tighter and tighter, it kind of goes looser and looser and looser, and then it's just, oh, it feels so good, and it releases in a different direction. And I wonder, I'm not sure, but I wonder if those are the vagal nerve orgasms, or if the vagal nerve orgasms are more of the sense of whole body orgasm going on. The psoas and some other things also get involved in the whole body orgasm sensation, but I really think the vagal nerve has got to be a big part of it, because it's that whole body oscillation feeling where it's kind of running head to toes and back up again. So that would be the vagal nerve, kind of your whole system getting excited and working for you. And when you are aroused and when you have orgasms, it changes how your body is feeling pain. And a lot of people know this, especially if you're in the BDSM community. But if you don't know, I mean, you got endorphins and lots of other things that kind of kick into gear. But it also just literally changes how your brain is perceiving your pain in your body. It's one reason why sometimes when you're really aroused, you might prefer a different kind of play, because it's just changing how all of those sensation signals for both pain and pleasure are being sent. Like the volume, it's like a mixing board, and all those levels start to change and adjust, which is one reason why you can go kind of deeper into play if that's what you really want to be doing. So yeah, those are the nerve systems, the actual nerves that you're having orgasms with, and they correspond with different parts of the body. So external parts, internal parts, and whole body parts, to give you, they just create such a wide variety and wide range of pleasure and orgasms.